Welcome to Dr. Zoe Today, where the topics are always real, raw, and relevant about love, sex, and relationships. Warning, do not listen to this show if you are sensitive to controversial issues or easily offended. Dr. Zoe and her guests are not to be held liable for any shock, pissing of the pants, sudden desire of change, or uncontrollable laughter. Now, here's your host, Dr. Zoe.
And I would wear skulls and combat boots and leather jackets. Like, it was not, I would stick out like a sore thumb. So he would always be like, oh, you're tight ass, and are you gay, and this and that, to the point that it gave me so much anxiety. And then I would, walk home from school, and I would get gang jumped, several times a month, to the point that one time it got so bad, I got beat up so bad that my face looked like the Elephant Man. When that happened, I got so turned off by going to school. I would get anxiety attacks when I would wake up to go to school. I was like, fuck this shit. So what I would do was, instead of going to school, I would hop on the subway in New York City. I would fall asleep and set my alarm on my watch for 30 minutes before it was time for school to get out. And then that's when I would head back home. And then I would get home and my parents would ask me, oh, how was school? And I would be like, oh, it was great. 72 days I skipped.
Wow.
Because I couldn't deal with it.
Do you know how many kids are going through the same exact stuff right now? So let's talk about your new project. Speak of turning a negative into a positive. So we're going to play Delusions of Grandeur at the end of this show, so everybody stay tuned for that. That is your video and hot single that you've released. But you have a new project coming out shortly. Talk about that.
Oh, let's talk about it. So this next project my next single is called, I have a nonprofit foundation. Let's go to that first. Everything that I've been through in life, and because of all the teens that have committed suicide for X, Y, or Z reason because of bullying, has inspired me. So what I did was something needs to be done, and there's nothing going on in the Board of Education that is preparing children and unveiling ignorance and actually guiding children and teaching them, what do you do if you get bullied? This is what happens when you bully someone. Why is it that children commit suicide when you get bullying? What does it do to your self-esteem? How does it make someone feel? So as a result of that, what I did was I'm actually creating a series of public service announcements. I'm going to work with the Board of Education in order for them to have these public service announcements in the first day of school when it's orientation, so that it can teach kids what steps they need to take if they're getting bullied. If they see someone getting bullied, who do they need to talk to? What is it that they need to do in order to stop the insanity? Because you know what? Too many kids are committing suicide because of bullying. I've had 3 of my friends commit suicide because they felt so uncomfortable in their own skin that they just didn't feel worthy enough to be part of the earth. So they took their lives because they just couldn't handle it anymore. And all of that inspired me to create a nonprofit foundation called Be Free Foundation. It's my labor of love. It's like what I feel is my life purpose on this earth, is to inspire kids to stop being supercilious and to actually rise above the negativity and be kind and treat others with love and treat others with respect. So as a result, it also turned into a song. I wrote this song called Be Free, and it's an amazing song. It's an anti-bullying anthem, and the chorus goes as such. It goes, be free, free to be who you are, bright like a shining star. Be free, free to be just yourself. Just break out of your shell. So I'm so proud of that song.
That is awesome. And
I just hope that it connects with people.
So you're going to do a video of this song, and what do you think time-wise, when are you thinking for the release of that song and video?
Probably by the summer.
Excellent, excellent. That is so cool, Angelo. I'm so proud of you, and I know so many people are so proud of you, and we need this in the world. We really do. Let's talk about your sexuality. So going back
Let's do it.
Okay, so going back to when you were a kid, I know you had these unfortunate, situations, but you as an individual, were you attracted to girls or boys or both?
I was always attracted to both.
Both? Okay.
And when I was growing up, I never dated boys because, I mean, I always felt really, when I was growing up, I was raised Catholic and then Jehovah's Witness. So when I started discovering that I was also attracted to boys, I was angry with God because I was like, why did you make me like this? What's wrong with me? So for a long time, I held a lot of resentment in my heart because of who I was, and I was really uncomfortable in my skin, and I felt that God didn't love me, and I felt that there was something wrong with me. And then one day I had an epiphany, and I was like, you know what? I was like, if God created the earth and the heavens and the universe, and everything's in such perfect balance, and if the Bible teaches us that God makes no mistakes and that we're all a reflection of Him, then that means that there's nothing wrong with me because God made me. And then that day, it was like a giant weight was taken off my back, and I was finally able to feel comfortable in my skin. And that's when I finally told my mom, you know what, I'm bisexual, and I started, exploring my sexuality and dating boys and exploring, women and men and trying to find, what it is that I like. And then I got into, I had a long-term relationship with a girl, which was my high school sweetheart. Then when we broke up, I got into my first relationship with a guy, and we were together for 4 years, and we were engaged. So as a result of that, when you're engaged to someone and that's your person and you're going to be with them forever,
right.
You're like pretty much committing to you're pretty much committing to that person. So if I'm going to be with a man for the rest of my life, well, then I'm going to have to identify as gay because I'm going to be in a gay relationship for the rest of my life. So when I first came out...
So this is why you came out and publicly said you were gay, because you were engaged to a guy.
I was, and I was in love, and we were together for 4 years, and so I thought he was going to be my forever. So when I came out, I identified as gay because, well, I was marrying a man. Common sense tells you if you're marrying a man, well, then you're in a gay relationship committed for the rest of your life. Well, then you're gay. When we broke up, I started self-reflecting and trying to find myself because I felt lost. There's the person I was in love with, and we broke up, and it was really ugly and it was really sloppy, and I started to think, and I was like, you know what? It's like I like guys, but I love pussy too. So it's like, fuck that shit. I was like, why am I gonna limit myself to just being with guys for the rest of my life?
Right.
And it rubs a lot of gay people the wrong way, bisexuals, because they feel like bisexual people are confused. And the way I look at it is, if I can enjoy sex with a man and I can enjoy sex with a woman, if I meet a woman that I have chemistry with and I want to fuck, I'm not going to tell her that I don't want to have sex with her just because the gay community looks down on that. It's like, if I'm attracted to this girl and we have good chemistry and she gives me the butterflies and we're making out and it's like, you know what I mean? And I want to take it to the next level, I'm going to sleep with her if it's two consensual people. I don't give a flying fuck what anyone thinks. It's like, if I meet a girl that I love, I'm really attracted to her, I'm going to sleep with her. If I meet a guy that I'm really attracted to...
Yeah, and let's make this really clear, because a conversation that you and I had, I loved what you said. It wasn't just about fucking. You said you do not want to limit yourself when it comes to your soulmate, that, you don't want to limit yourself to a gender when it comes to your soulmate. And I think that is what this show is all about. It's about allowing people like you to express themselves, pop sexuality, modern sexuality, and I thought that was a beautiful statement. So let's talk about what kind of...
It's like racism.
Exactly.
When I look at a human being, I'm colorblind. When I look at someone that's my soulmate, I'm gender blind.
Right, absolutely.
It's as simple as that, and I wish people could understand the concept. It's about two souls and two energies connecting. It's not about... wanting to have sex with a man or wanting to have sex with a woman. It's about does your soul gravitate to?
Absolutely.
It's far deeper than a sexual...
A lot of people want to know, what are you personally yearning for in a partner? What qualities is Angelo looking for?
Honesty is number one. honesty, and you know why? Because if honesty isn't on the table, it's like if I meet someone and I'll give you a perfect example. When I first met my partner that I was engaged to for 4 years, when we were both talking about, because when you first meet someone and you're connecting and you're getting to know who they are and their spirit, you put your cards on the table and you say what you want and you say what you love. And although when I'm single, I'm very sexually adventurous. I mean, I've had 3 ways and all of that. You know what I mean? I've explored my sexuality. However, when I'm in a relationship, I don't want to sleep around. If I'm in love with this person, that's my guy or that's my girl. It's like I don't want anyone else having mine. I'm very chill. I'm like, that's my property. You know what I mean? Let me piss on that. That's my girl. It's like, you better not look. You better not touch. Back the fuck off, bitch.
I'm the same exact way. And it's like, I'm in a relationship, like, that's my cum. That's mine to enjoy. Like, I'm not
I love it. You know what? Some people are like, I don't like feeling like a piece of property. You know what? It's like if my boyfriend or my girlfriend tells me you're my fucking property, that fucking gives me a hard on.
When some guy's fucking me and says I own this pussy, I love that.
Yes.
My pussy. I own this pussy.
That's right.
I love that shit. I love that. Okay, so honesty and
I value when I'm in a relationship this. It's as simple as this. When I'm single, I enjoy variety, but when I'm in a relationship, I value monogamy and exclusivity more than variety. Simple as that. So be honest with me from the beginning. Tell me if you're the type of person that lingers, if you're the type of person that likes an open relationship, if you're the type of person that likes variety, well, then I'll know this is a person just for fun.
Okay. And
I will not be able to take it to the next level.
Here's another important thing, and I love you, so I'm going to say this, okay?
Yeah.
So when you come into a relationship, it's so important. You have self-love and you're self-fulfilled. It's so important that two people come into a relationship self-fulfilled and loving themselves first, because you can't love anybody else the right way until you love yourself the right way. Also, another important thing is a spiritual connection, is someone that you connect with on not just a sexual level, not just an intellectual level, but a spiritual level as well. Like, I want somebody to
your core values need to be congruent.
Yes.
If your core values are not congruent, the relationship is destined for failure. What I've learned is this. There's another thing that I will not there's 5 non-negotiables in relationships. For me, it's honesty. For me, it's loyalty. For me, it's my partner being able to read my untold signals, which means if you're like, can I go out with the girls tonight? And I'm saying yes, but my tone of voice and my body language is saying no. Listen to my tone of voice and my body language. Don't listen to what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like some people lack the intellectual capacity to understand and see beyond. It's like you say yes, you can go, but it's because you don't want to control your partner. But sometimes you want your partner to make you feel wanted and to make you feel loved and to make you feel that you're more important than going out with the boys or going out with the girls.
Exactly. It's like having a best friend that you can look at them and you can read their mind. That's the kind of relationships I think that are most powerful. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to answer your questions.
Let's
Angela
do
and I
it.
are going to answer your questions on love, sex, and relationships.
Dr. Zoe has been a successful entrepreneur, philanthropist, and the confidential coach to celebrities, leaders in business, religion, and sports for over a decade. Take advantage and submit your questions on love, sex, and relationships via the Dr. Zoe Today app, drzoetoday.com, or simply hashtag AskDrZoe on Twitter. Be sure to tune in every week to hear your questions answered by Dr. Zoe and her guests. Your connection for pop sexuality.
Okay, Angelo, are you ready to answer some of our listeners' questions?
I'm so ready.
Okay, Allie wrote in. She said, I never had an orgasm, and I'm wondering if you had any ideas on what I could do. I feel bad for my hubs. We've been together for over 10 years. He says he's okay with that. I think he just says that to make me feel better. I do not masturbate, and I'm really not sure how to do it. And I just found out I have a tumor on my pituitary gland, and finding this out, it's doing things to my hormones and estrogen levels. I'm thinking that I might have that might have something to do with it. If you can help me, that would be great. Do you want me to go first, or you want to go first?
I can go first. I feel that if your partner's saying that he's okay with you not orgasm, he's a selfish motherfucker, first of all. Because I'm the type of person, it's like if I'm with a girl, I will eat her pussy for like 10 hours if I have to until she comes. That's number one, and that's like one of my favorite things to do.
More fans, Angelo.
You know what I mean? So if your boyfriend's all right with you not orgasming, he's selfish, number one, sexually. And nothing that I hate more than a selfish sexual person. That's all about them. I would suggest, this is what I would suggest. I would suggest that you go to the sex store and buy a bunch of sex toys, vibrators, dildos, and teach each other how to use them in order to give you pleasure. Toys can be a fun way to add spice and to add sizzle to your like sexual life, and I will assure you that you are going to come over and over again.
Okay, I agree on the sex toys, definitely. What I think, though, Allie, is I think take yourself, first of all, get your hormones levels straight, because that's a medical situation. Get your hormones in balance. Go to a doctor. Make sure you get those in balance. There's things you can do. You can also there is a herb. It's called royal maca. Look it up. It's a natural herb. People take it like Viagra for men. They take it to boost their sexuality. For women, it's called royal maca. Look it up.
It's like female Viagra, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's also for men, too. It's a herb that you can use, and it's all natural. So it comes in a capsule form. But if not, you definitely need to go to the doctors, get those hormones leveled out, number one. Number two, you said you don't masturbate. I'm going to tell you this, and this is what I tell all the women that write in and all of my clients that tell me they don't masturbate. Baby girl, if you don't come by yourself, you're not going to come with your man. I need you to get some alone time. If you have a detachable shower head, use water pressure, use toys like Angelo said. Do whatever you have to do. You want to stimulate your clit and get your clit going really good. Lick your fingers. Get it wet if it's not wet. Use lube. Do whatever you have to do to stimulate your clit. Play with your nipples at the same time. Get that toy in your pussy. You can make yourself come. You need to start coming by yourself first. Then when you go with your man, you're going to know what gets you turned on and what makes you come. Then first of all, you should start having clitoral orgasms first. Then you start playing with those toys. I want you to Google G-spots. I want you to find out how you need to rub yourself the right way to have orgasms yourself first. Okay, let's go to the next.
And then train your partner as well, because you have to be vocal about what you want. I am like very vocal like with my partners. It's like I'll tell them what I like and I'll tell them what I don't like. So if he's like eating your pussy right, encourage him. Oh yeah, more to the left or more higher. Oh, play with my clit. Oh, play with my nipples. Tell him what you want. It's simple as ask and you will receive. But if you don't say anything, don't expect your partner to read your mind and understand what's going on and what you need if you're not voicing your opinion.
That's true. Communication is definitely key in every relationship, especially when it comes to sexuality. Okay, Brittany wrote in, she put, you and your friend with benefits were fucking, and then you found out you're pregnant. How would you go about telling him?
Well, it depends, number one, on whether or not you want to keep the child or not. I mean, if you're not financially secure and if you're not prepared to be a mother and you're going to abort the child, then I would definitely, regardless, be honest and tell them, listen, I got pregnant and this is the decision that I want to make. But like I always say, honesty is key. Just take them to coffee, take them to lunch, and just be blunt. I'm from New York. We're very blunt. I would say, listen, we had sex. It was unprotected. I'm pregnant. What are we going to do about this? Simple as that.
Exactly. I agree with Angelo 100%. Matt wrote in, he put, what's the most obscure place you and Angelo have ever had sex? Not together, separately. I haven't met Angelo in person yet. But what's the most obscure place you've ever had sex, Angelo?
I don't know if it's obscure. I'm pretty sure it's happened millions of times to people. I've had sex on an airplane, which was pretty weird. It was a long flight. It was from New York City to Rio de Janeiro, so it was like over 10 hours. So it was like, and we were in first class, and we had those reclinable, like, super, like, chairs, and so it was dark, and we were horny, so we, like, had sex, and no one even realized it. I mean, it was, like, it was gold.